Hey guys, Mike Mcerlane with another episode of Workout 101 on workoutstrength.com. So today I'm going to show you guys how to do dips with the bands. The bands, the type of bands that you have to get are, and I'm not joking when I say this, these are the best bands on the market. I know there's a lot of options out there, but these are designed by Dr. JYM the JYM Strength Bands. These are our bands that we personally use here. They were designed by JYM as well as the manufacturer Body Elastics. Blake Castle has been a very dear friend of mine for many years. They're the best bands. But here's the reason why you really have to get these bands. This system doesn't work without the bands, okay, without this particular kit. And the reason why is because there's all these different attachments in here that allow you to use the bands in a gym setting to where you're not fumbling around and, you know, causing a ruckus and looking like a complete, you know, idiot in the gym trying to get set up. So first I want to go over the setup of the bands. In this particular kit, the JYM Strength Bands kit, which are available on Amazon.com, just search JYM Strength Bands or JYM Strength Bands, they have this, what's called an anywhere anchor, okay? And the reason why you want to use this is because you have to have something that goes around your waist, okay? Kind of like a belt. Now some people are going to be bigger, so this is not an adjustable size. That's perfectly fine. I have about a 34-inch waist, so that's about where it fits on me. If you're bigger, that's okay. As long as it can fit around your hips, that's what's important, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this band, okay? Now, depending on the type of dip station that you have, some have a cross beam down here. You just have to get the band underneath something that's not gonna lift it up. This is a 120-pound dumbbell. It's not going anywhere. This band connected at the top is 50 pounds. When it's stretched, probably about 70 at the top, but it's not going to lift 120 pounds. So first thing you do is you slide it underneath wherever, you know, attachment point that you have. Next, you hang on to that. You grab this, the anywhere anchor, and you simply just slide the bands through. And because of the clip system, you can see I slide the bands through. So even if it's wide, it doesn't really matter. You clip it up. So even if this doesn't go around my waist, that's perfectly fine. You just want that type of a connection to happen. And it doesn't really matter where the clips are, as long as they're together. From here, as you're kneeling down, you just stand up, okay? I'm in the standing position, and I'm ready to get to work. Climb up. And I'm set up to do the dips. So now that we've gone over the actual setup of how to get in the position to do the exercise, now we're going to go over the technique. Once you're in the extended position up here, there's different ways that you can actually do dips depending on which muscle you want to hit. Primarily when you're doing dips, you want to emphasize the triceps. That is the muscle that's emphasized when you're doing the dips. The chest and the delts are involved, but body position plays a key role into how those muscles are going to be emphasized. If you're vertical, if you're straight up and down, the majority of the load is going to be onto the triceps, okay? If you're angled at an angle to where you kind of crunch and you lean forward a little bit, now you're getting more chest involvement because the position of the body is pushing more in front. If you're pushing direct back here to where your body's vertical and the position of your arm is angled to where you're pushing just straight down here, it's a multi-joint movement in your shoulders and in your elbows down. That primarily targets the delts, majority on the triceps. But if you shift your body forward, now the position of the angle is to where you're pushing here, now you're getting pec involvement. So if you're pushing here, because my body is angled forward, okay, now I'm getting more pec involvement as well as triceps. Now what are the benefits? Why are we using this elastic band? Why don't we just do our own body weight? Why don't we hold a weight? Why don't we have, you know, a similar setup but have plates versus the bands? What you guys gotta understand about the bands versus free weight, I've said this before, the bands provide what's called, it's a technical term, but it's linear variable resistance. What that means is that the resistance varies linearly, whichever direction you're moving, with how far this band stretches. the resistance changes. I use a layman's term, it's called increased resistance, which means the resistance increases the further that you stretch. Typically when you're doing dips or any movement, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be weaker at certain points in the muscle group's range of motion. The shorter range of motion that you have, that's usually where you're stronger, concentrically and eccentrically, which means you're going down, you're going up. So here's a demonstration of that. At the top here, I'm strong from here to here and here to here. That's why doing this, I can do all day long. Where I become weak is if I go into a full range of motion range. The further that that muscle stresses or stretches, there's more stress applied to it. But because those muscle fibers are in such an elongated state, you're weaker. You can only push a certain amount of load before you can't go up. That's why on dips, people do dips, they come up, they go down here, oh, they're done. They can't do it. With the bands, they allow you to push adequate amounts of weight that maximizes your strongest points in that range of motion. If I'm strong enough to do this, okay, I sure as hell better be strong enough to go all the way down and come back up. But I'm only pushing or doing the exercise as weak as I am. Because in order to do a full rep, I have to be able to get it at the bottom. But if you're adding weight, you might not be able to actually come back up. As I descend down here, as my muscles are stretching, I'm still getting resistance, but the weight distribution to the muscle, the load is actually getting lighter. But as I press back up, as that angle changes, as I'm getting stronger because the range of motion is decreasing at the top, I'm actually getting more load to the muscle because the bands are stretching, increasing the load. So at the top here, it's like 70 pounds and I can feel it. I mean, it's not easy just standing here. When I'm up here, I can feel that load. It's not just my body weight, and I'm 230, but as I go down here, I get 70 pounds of resistance that wants to push my ass down, pull me down. So as I go down, now that weight lowers as I'm getting weaker, but then as I press up, concentrically, that weight gets heavier, so I'm getting more load to the muscle fibers. The other thing I like about the bands is you can go at a fast, rapid pace. Elastics allow you to move fast. Free weights don't, okay? Free weight, you're gonna have momentum. So I literally can do this movement fast and really explode up out of the hole into the top. That is called twitch rate. That fast twitch is gonna allow me to recruit more of the fast twitch muscle fibers, which are the muscle fibers that are the biggest and the strongest. So this is the dips with the bands. Give it a shot. If you guys want a workout program that utilizes this, should be one listed below. Check out workouttrainer.com, gymsupplementscience.com for all your supplement needs, and jimstepani.com for all your VIP needs from the man himself, Dr. Jim Stepani, or all of his programs. Hit 100, Super Shredded 8, Superman, 1, 2, Down and Up Mass. They're all there, guys. You can get them at jimstepani.com. If you guys have any questions about this or anything else, please ask me. If this is posted on any of the social media channels, ask below the video. I do check it. So if you guys have questions, I'll answer. If you have questions that you want to email me, just go on to the workouttrainer.com website, click above where it says community. There'll be a drop down that says trainers. Find me, Mike Mcerlane, hit me. That goes as a private message to me. That way you and I can communicate privately versus just something that's in a public forum. Until next time, guys, it's Mike Mcerlane. Take care.